Hi everyone, let's talk makeup. I am wearing the same thing that I am wearing in probably a few videos because I'm filming a few in a row here. But today I have a review of the Flower Beauty Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette. Here it is, and this is something that I'd seen on the interwebs, people recommending, and I thought I really want to try it because Flower Beauty is cruelty free, and it's made in Canada, but it is the Drew Barrymore line, and it's a line that is sold at Walmart. It has always intrigued me whenever I go look at their products, so I thought I would start giving some of their products a go. So let me do a quick demo of how I apply each of these items. It's got a contour, a blush, and a highlight. So let me show you a quick demo and then I'll come back and give you my full. So this, I'm going to go in and do the contour first, and I'm going in with my Wet n Wild angled blush, and I'm just dipping in here and then putting that in the hollows of my cheeks. And doing that on both sides. So I do usually go in a couple of times to build up a little bit of color, especially right now when I've got a little bit more color on my face. And then I'll go in around the perimeter of my face and blend that out, and on my chin just a little, and then whatever's left over right there. So hopefully you can see it blends out very nicely. It does add some color there. And so now I'm going to go back in here and go in with my Real Techniques blush brush and dip into the blush. So as you can see, this brush does a good job of putting color on my cheek. Whoop whoop, I want color. Whereas if I use a not so densely packed brush, I get a very different result. So there we go, using the contour and the blush. So now I'm going to go in and add some highlight. So I'm going in with the e.l.f. Cosmetics 105 brush, and I'm going to go in there and then apply that this part of my cheek, build that up a little so you can see that it's buildable and can be quite intense. This is not the most subtle of highlights, but it is a very nice one. Blend that out and then put that on my nose and arms. So there we go. I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so as hopefully you were able to see in the demo, this is a palette that I like and would recommend for a lot of different people. Right? Mine is in the shade medium to deep, and they have kind of a lighter version of it. So the range isn't great because I think if this works for my skin tone, I don't think it'll work for people that are much darker than I am, because right now I'm probably at the darkest I ever get because I've been out in the sun. We're in the middle of a heat wave in California, and so I'm probably the darkest I'll be all year. And this does work for me, but I can't see it working on anybody darker than me, and it's supposed to be medium to deep. So just something to note, that I don't think that they have one of these palettes for everybody. If you're lighter than me though, you might want to try the light to medium palette, which will probably work. So yes, so the contour palette, the contour shade here is a really nice one for me, and if you're a little bit lighter, and it's a very smooth powder. Hopefully you can see that it's a very smooth not too warm powder. I think it works for contouring. I'm not sure if I would want something a little bit warmer for bronzing, but it works really great for contouring. It has worked with every single brush I've used it with. In the demo, I used the Wet n Wild one, but I have used a cosmetics brush, I have used a MAC brush, I've used a ton of different brushes with it, and all have worked great, right? I think this is a pretty, yeah, I haven't had any issues. I think any brush you have will work with this powder. The contour powder also lasts all day on me. This is a big deal for me because sometimes I find that powders can kind of disappear, and my cheeks can eat powder very easily. But this contour powder, I find myself taking it off after a 10, 12, sometimes even 16-hour days, which I have been known to have. And P.S. I've been trying this palette for, goodness, I think I wore it 2 weeks straight, and then I was wearing it on and off before and after. If you look at my Instagram, which is listed down below, I have been using this a lot. so that when I am telling you that the contour I really like and that I've used it a lot, I mean it, and I've got the proof for it. So now let's talk about the blush. This is a really pretty neutral blush, actually. It goes well with many different looks, I would say. And see, it's a really fine, a little bit powdery powder. I have to say that I think the contour and the blush are both powdery and soft. And as a matter of fact, the first time I purchased this palette, because this is the second time I purchased it, by the time I got home, it broke. It broke on me. Yeah, was it? Oh no, it was taking off the outer packaging it was a little, sometimes with that packaging, it's hard to take it off. And as I was taking it off, I guess must have pulled a little bit hard, and it shattered the powders in here. So these are soft, powdery powders. If you don't like that, then this is not going to be for you. I don't mind that. I tend to like the powderiness of them, because I feel that means that they're soft, blendable, easy to work with. So I don't mind dealing with powderiness. On the other hand, this blush, it's a very light color. So if you're tan or medium tan and darker, this blush is not the most pigmented. If you use a very fluffy blush brush, like if I were to use this Sonia Kashuk brush, I would need to keep on packing it on in order to build up the color. So what I have found is that the best kind of brushes to use with that blush are very dense brushes. Like this is the one I like using with it from Real Techniques, and I think it's just the Real Techniques blush brush. Dip into that like you saw in the demo, apply it, and then I don't need to keep digging in there and putting that on my cheeks. Now my big problem with the blush, other than kind of having to build it up, is that my cheeks eat it. Within a couple of hours, the color is going to be almost gone from my cheeks. So the way I figured out to make it work was to do a cream blush underneath. So I have a bunch of different cream blushes. I was using primarily this Maybelline The Master Glaze by Face Studio, which is not cruelty free, but I'm trying to finish because I think it's doable to finish that one. I've also layered the Flower Beauty blush on top of the Becca Cosmetics Beach Tint Shimmer Souffle. So these are both kind of cream blushes that will last on my cheeks, that I already know I can wear on their own and will last on me. So I'll layer these underneath the powder from the blush, from the contour kit, and that will allow some color to remain on my cheeks. But I have found that even doing that, at the end of the day, what I'm taking off of my cheeks is the cream blush and not the powder blush. So just FYI, that if you're like me and your cheeks just eat blush, they're gonna eat this one. Yeah, so next up then is the highlight. So this is a very nice gold highlight. And the one in the lighter palette is a little bit, it's lighter. So I think will work on people with lighter skin tones. But this is a really nice highlight. I really like it. I tend to prefer more natural looking highlights, but when I was trying this one, I was like, okay, what the hell? I'll just try it. What's the big deal? So I'm putting it on my cheeks, and I really enjoyed it because you can get the kind of really highlighted look, but you don't have to necessarily, right? Like you can just get something in between, something that's not too natural and not too highlighted. But you can build up. If you want to be a strobe light, you know, then strobe away. And you can layer this. It layers very nicely, but also blends. Oh, and it's just, I just really like it. Because I was testing it out and wearing it, it made me want to pull out some of my other highlighters, which I'd kind of put away because I don't want to be a strobe light at work. And so I tend to go for the more natural look. But I was using this one on days when I wasn't working, and I really like it. And my cheeks eat some of it, but it doesn't eat all of it. I do find myself still visibly seeing the highlight on my cheeks at the end of the day. So overall, I think this is a pretty good kit here, a pretty good palette that gives you 3 kind of necessary face products for a full face. I think the contour powder is fabulous. I think the highlight is wonderful. The only issue I have is with the blush, but I can make it work. And I think that's the key, and why I will probably why I will continue to use this and reach for it, is that I can make it work. Not my favorite blush, but it'll work, and for the contour and the highlight, it's worth it. It's just worth it to me. So I will put all the information down below, but let me know what you've tried, if you've tried this palette, and if you've tried something else from the line. I know that their blending brush is really popular, so I'm just waiting for it to be available near me, and I will probably pick that up. On my eyes today, I also have one of their palettes, and so I haven't tried this one out enough for a review, but let me know what else I should pick up from Flower Beauty, because they're cruelty free. That made me really excited to try a lot of other things from their line. So let me know down below, but that is it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.